Hello, I'm Nancy Van Overstraat, and I'm very pleased to welcome you to our first IREC lunch. So welcome and enjoy.
Welcome to all. So allow me to present myself. I am Jean-Luc Baligan. I am a professor of medicine and pharmacology. I also am chair of this institute, the Institut de Recherche Expérimentale et Clinique, IREC. And I'm also directing a research group within the IREC in the Pharmacology and Therapeutics Pole. And I'm also a clinician working at the Clinique Universitaire Saint-Luc, mostly taking care of patients with cardiovascular disease. So this is a very special event because this is the first official day for the IREC members, and this comprises not only the principal investigators, clinicians, but also all the PhD students, scientists, technicians, all personnel involved in the institute. This is a festive day. We all meet together here to enjoy ourselves. Fortunately, we have an unusual Belgian weather with some sunny skies. And we have another typical Belgian specialty, which is Belgian fries for everybody to enjoy, including the many foreigners who work within our institute. So this is really a very enjoyable gathering. We hope everybody will meet, discuss very freely and enjoy themselves so that we start this new academic year under very good auspices for the growth of the institute and the fulfillment of everybody's aspirations. Welcome you all to this first IREC Day, which, seeing from the number we are today, can already be considered as very successful. But at least you could enjoy something that is typically Belgian with this IREC Day, grey skies, and fries. But I think that your presence here is the best indication of a growing success, because what makes an institute living is the people. We have quality training, excellent PhD schools, excellent PhD students, very good scientists who are recognized throughout the world for their scientific output despite the limited resources. And I think we all should be proud of this. So I'm very happy that you're all here today. I want to thank you for your presence. I want to thank you for all the work you do with the Institute. Thank you all and enjoy the day.
Hello, Laura Leaks. So how did you have the idea of?
Actually, some of us already organized a PhD day in March of this year. And since this day was really a successful day, and we have still some money from the sponsor from the PhD day that was in extra, we wanted to use this money to try to organize an event for all the members of the Institute, because the Institute is quite heterogeneous in terms of people working in it, clinician, technician, researchers, PI, and so we really wanted to try to organize an event where everyone could be welcome. And that's why we came to the idea of a lunch or a barbecue.
Why did you choose a food truck?
We chose a food truck because it was the more flexible option for us, as it's the first edition of the IREC lunch. And we chose Maison Antoine because we thought it was a good way to represent Belgian culture for people that are outside, like coming outside of Belgium.
How do you assess the success of this event?
So I would be happy if there is no beer left at the end of the lunch, but more seriously, the best thing will be to assess this success is that the event will be reorganized next year and become like a traditional event every September at the beginning of the academical year or whenever in the year, a tradition.
So let's meet Professor Grégoire, who is heading the Mirror Group. So Professor, what do you like the most about the IREC?
So I think the most important in the IREC is that it brings together lots of expertise that, in my opinion, working alone would not have the opportunity to join each other and then to have a kind of enhancement of what they can produce, expertise that you do not have to duplicate, ideas that you may not have thought about, because now meeting somebody who is an expert in a different field, you say, oh yes, that's what I should have done. And so obviously it's a kind of 1 + 1 = 4.
So let's meet Sandrine Hormans now. So Sandrine, what do you like the most about the IREC?
What I like the most in our institute is there we have the possibility to work together with the clinicians. So the strength of our institute is that we are able to connect basic research with translational research, and particularly in our pole of research, the pole of cardiovascular research, we strongly collaborate with a lot of clinicians to conduct our project.
What do you think are the hottest projects going on right now in your research group?
Well, we have some preliminary data that adiponectin might be very interesting to treat some muscular diseases, but I cannot say more about this. And we also have a very nice development about specifically measuring oxidative stress, even in mouse tissue after some disease, for instance. And this is very new, and we are very interested in doing that.
Tell us a bit about your hottest project going on right now.
So for the moment in my team we have two different projects. One is about the prevention of cancer metastases, and so we are translating basic findings into clinical applications. And the second main project is about autophagy, the process of self-eating, where we try to neutralize cancer cells that can survive to starvation.
Hello, Christophe Baulois, who is heading the cardio group. So what are the hottest projects going on right now in your research group?
One of the most interesting projects that we are working on it's a project concerning the connection between metabolism and heart function. And what we have seen, we have identified a protein which is able to detect change in glucose concentration in the extracellular medium and inducing some intracellular response. And beyond that, we have identified that this protein could be involved in some cardiovascular disease, and more particularly in heart failure. So we try to connect the relationship between this protein and some phenotypes observed in the patient.
What do you think is the strength of your group?
I think the strength, as I mentioned earlier in my interview, is that we combine biologists, we combine physicists, we combine medical doctors, we combine experts in imaging, and so all these different orientations or brains, if I may say so, will give what I believe is a special touch to the research I'm doing in the field of the use of molecular imaging in the field of radiation oncology.
So Professor Robert, how do you recruit your PhD students?
It depends. Some are coming through the master's programs. When I see a very good student in the master program, I just say to the student, well, come to me, we will discuss together, I will find a proposal. Most of my PhD students are coming from the rest of the world.
What is your favorite part of your position?
Well, actually, I'm very lucky because I'm mainly a research scientist, although I am the head of the pole of EDIN. I still have the opportunity to do myself experiments like one day every week or something like that. And this is what I really enjoy in science.
According to you, what is the ideal profile of a researcher?
Or a profile of researcher may be different from the profile of researchers in other groups, because we are a clinical department and most of our research fellows are in fact doctors. during their training to become a radiologist who accept to dedicate a part of their time for several years to research. So they are mainly involved in clinical projects, although we have also more fundamental researchers, for example, physicists who work in dedicated fields of imaging techniques.
So hello, what's your name?
My name is Dung.
Oh, where do you come from, Yung?
I'm come from Vietnam.
And how did you hear about the IREC?
From my professor first, and when I come here, sometimes I go through another place and I see where IREC is and know a little more about IREC.
And what do you think of the lunch?
Yes, it's quite different when compared to my country, because in my country the French fry is not very popular, but here we can try a lot of the kind of sauce with the French fries, and it's very delicious.
I'm a PhD student.
And how did you had the idea of making a PhD?
I did my master in the lab and then I just follow in PhD student.
And what do you think of the lunch?
It's super cool, super cool.
And what do you like the most here?
The projects and people are very fine.
I'm working on diabetic cardiomyopathy and especially on protein that transport glucose.
And what do you think about the IREC atmosphere and the lunch in general?
It's cool. It's cool. It's a cool event because we are together and we can share our experience and yeah, okay.